Good morning, students. In the previous session itself, the first unit is over. Now, the today's session, I will start the second lesson, that is kinematics. Kinematics is nothing but is the branch of physics. Is the branch of physics which deals the object or in motion with applying the force, and that in this branch without taking the force into account. Force apply பண்றதுனால ஒரு thing move ஆகுது, but we didn't consider the force into account. That is kinematics. So all the objects in the macroscopic level and the microscopic level. Microscopic, what is microscopic level? What is macroscopic level? Microscopic level means we consider the tiny objects, that is atom, molecules, interatomic distance, intermolecular distance, that all are it will be observed keenly how the motion atoms it will be moving in the one substance, that all are learned in the microscopic level. So any one microscopic level or macroscopic, what is the macroscopic level? How the earth will be revolving around the sun, and then what moon it will be revolving around the earth, that it will be the motion, it will be considered in the macroscopic levels. In the macroscopic level or microscopic level, only motion to be considered. So in the 20th century, only the atom structure it will be elaborately explained. Before the 19th century itself, the motion will be in a physics pattern, physics phenomena. Physics la motion the first step, mechanics the first step. So motion means one object will be moving without applying the force, with applying the force. In this lesson, motion of any one object with applying the force, but that the force it does not be considered. So kinematics, the word it will be coming from the Greek word, that is gynema. The word it will be coming from the Greek word, that is gynema. Gynema means motion. Okay. So kinematics is the branch of physics which deals the object or in motion. So gynema, the word it will be derived from. So kinematics, the word it will be derived from the Greek word, that is gynema. Then meaning of the gynema is motion. So kinematics is a branch of physics which deal the objects or in motion, but without the force does not to be considered into account. Okay. So okay, first kinematics the branch. First we learn about rest and motion. What is rest? What is motion? So you are sit is in front of that your mobile camera. You have to see my face. So you are in a rest position, but I am moving in one side to another one side by explaining some thoughts. That it will be I am in moving position. So rest and motion means one thing without the working, without moving one place to another place, simply sit at the one place, that it will be called rest. But that a thing it will be moving one side to another one side, having some velocity, that will be called motion. But rest and motion it will be difference in one thing it will be moving with respect of the another one. One person it will be sitting in the bus, another one person it will be stand on the road. Okay. So the bus person, we see the outside person, but the moving bus having the person will be sitting in the moving bus, the roadside person it will be stand on the it will be considered as a rest position. அதாவது பஸ்ஸுக்குள்ள இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு பர்சனுக்கு ரோடில் நிற்கக்கூடிய ஒரு பர்சன் ஸ்டாண்டிங்கில் நிற்கிறான், ஸோ அவன் ரெஸ்ட் பொசிஷனில் நிற்கிறான். பட் த ரோட் பர்சனுக்கு பஸ்ஸுக்குள்ள இருக்கக்கூடிய பர்சன் ரெஸ்ட்டில் தான் இருக்கான், பட் பஸ் ஒன்லி இட் வில் பி மூவிங், த பர்சன் இட் வில் பி இன் அ ரெஸ்ட் பொசிஷன். Clear that ma? So it will be reference in the frame of reference. It will be mentioned with the frame of reference. What's the meaning that frame of reference? We have to refer one thing. It will be considered one frame. ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் ஏரியாவில் ஒரு திங்கை நீங்கள் ரெஃபர் பண்ணுறீங்க அப்படின்னா அதுக்கப்புறம் ஃப்ரேம் ஆஃப் ரெஃபரன்ஸ். ஸோ செகண்ட் ஒன் இஸ் ஃப்ரேம் ஆஃப் ரெஃபரன்ஸ். ஃப்ரேம் ஆஃப் ரெஃபரன்ஸ் மீன்ஸ் ஒன் திங் இட் வில் பி மூவிங். So we have to consider x, y, z axis. That the thing it will be only moving in the x axis, only moving in a y axis. Otherwise, that the thing it will be moving in x, y, z axis. That will be mentioned in the frame of reference. So we consider the Cartesian coordinates x, y, z. Okay, x, y, z is the Cartesian coordinates axis. It will be mentioned the frame of reference. Frame of ஒரு திங் வந்து மூவ் ஆகுதுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், எக்ஸ் ஒய் செட் ஆக்சஸை கன்சிடர் பண்ணி நீங்கள் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறீங்கன்னா அதுக்கு பிறகு ஃப்ரேம் ஆஃப் ரெஃபரன்ஸ், தட் த எக்ஸ் ஒய் செட் ஆர் கால்ட் Cartesian coordinates axis. Clear that ma? So frame of reference it will be classified into two. One is right-handed Cartesian coordinates and left-handed Cartesian coordinate system. So Cartesian coordinate system, it will be classified into two. One is right-handed, another one is left-handed. What's the meaning of right-handed and left-handed? Right-handed means the XY axis, it will be considered as the anti-clockwise. But left-handed means the Cartesian coordinates, it will be considered as the clockwise. Okay, anti-clockwise and clockwise. Anti-clockwise means clock 12, 1, 2, 3 no. Anti-clockwise means 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So anti-clockwise and you consider pannina, that is right-handed Cartesian coordinates. Left-handed means clockwise. Okay, so we explain the two diagrams. We consider the three axes x, y, z. That the thing it will be moving in anti-clockwise means x, y, z. That is called right-handed Cartesian coordinates because the anti-clockwise moment. X, y, z. But z is up. Z up, but right-handed Cartesian coordinate. And then this diagram x, y, z, that is also anti-clockwise, that is the right-handed Cartesian coordinate, but y up. Z மேல இருக்கு, but x, y, z ஓட Cartesian coordinates and anti-clockwise move ஆகுது, that is the right-handed Cartesian coordinates. இந்த diagramல x, y, z, so y is up, then Cartesian coordinates is moving from x, y, z, so it will be also the anti-clockwise. So right-handed Cartesian coordinate system means the Cartesian coordinate system axis is x, y, z, it will be moving in anti-clockwise. Then sometimes z is up, sometimes y is up. But right-handed coordinate, sorry, left-handed coordinate system means x, y, z, but x, y, z, that is clockwise. X, y, z, that is clockwise, but y is up, y up. Okay, then this diagram x, y, z, x, y, z, but z up. Clear that ma? Simply right-handed means anti-clockwise, left-handed means clockwise. Clockwise anti-clockwise வச்சு நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்க, டயகிராமை செட் அப்பா y அப்பான்னு பார்க்கணும். ஓகேவா? This is the two diagrams. It will be explain the right-handed Cartesian coordinate system and left-handed clockwise, left-handed Cartesian coordinate system. This diagram it will be important for one words. Okay, one words கான importance. ஓகேவா? இதெல்லாம் நீங்க கிளியரா பார்த்துக்கணும். Then one words, in the one verse we just giving the diagrams, that the diagram, how will you represent this diagram, what will be represent this diagram, that is asking in a one words. Then third one is point mass. What is point mass? The total mass of a body, it will be considered at a single point, that is called point mass. So point mass is the total mass of the body, it will be considered a single point. So I will give an example. You have to throw away one stone in the atmosphere. Okay, the stone it will be little bit mass. Okay, simple stone you have to take, that the stone it will be thrown away in the atmosphere. Atmosphere is huge size comparable to the little bit mass of stone. Okay, so the stone it will be considered as a point mass comparable to the huge size of atmosphere. ஒரு ஸ்டோனை நீங்கள் அட்மாஸ்பியரில் த்ரோ பண்ணுறீங்க அப்படின்னா அந்த huge atmosphere அந்த ஸ்டோன்ங்கிறது little bit mass. So stone white will be considered as a point mass comparable to the huge size of atmosphere. Okay, so that is called point mass. And another one example is earth, it will be revolving around the sun. Okay, earth it will be revolving around the sun, but comparable to the difference between the sun and earth, the earth mass it will be little. அதாவது சன்னுக்கு எர்த்துக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய லென்த்தை கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது எர்த்தோடைய மாஸ் இட் வில் பி லிட்டில். ஸோ எர்த் மாஸ் இட் வில் பி கன்சிடர் as a point mass comparable to the length of the two comparable of distance between the sun and earth. சன்னுக்கு எர்த்துக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய டிஸ்டன்ஸை கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது எர்த்தோடைய மாஸ்ங்கிறது லிட்டில், ஸோ ஸ்மால். ஸோ எர்த் மாஸ் இட் வில் பி கன்சிடர் as a point mass in that criteria. So point mass is nothing but total mass will be considered a single point, and then sometimes the huge size is there, but you have to consider as a point mass. So point mass is no shape, no size and no structure. அதுக்குன்னு internal structure மே கிடையாது. So no internal structure and no mass and no size. No mass இல்லை, no shape and no size. Just a single thought, no size. Just mention as a single thought. Okay. So point mass will be considered as a single point. The total mass will be considered as a single point. So some example is there. Then next one is types of motion. What is called types of motion, ma? What are the types of motion? Already you learn in 9th standard. linear motion, circular motion, rotational motion and vibrating motion. What is the meaning that linear motion? Linear motion means one thing it will be moving in a straight line. I am moving only this side, that will be called as linear motion. Linearly means one person or one thing it will be moving straight line, that will be called linear motion. Athlete it will be running on a race, it will be as an example for linear motion. And then you have to put on line by using the ruler, that will be called as linear motion, where pencil will be moving in a linear, so it will be called as a linear motion. And circular motion. Circular motion means you have to attach one stone at the end of the one string. You have to whirling the stone by using the thread. We apply the force on the string it will be formed in a circular motion. We have to fix one stone at the thread, at the end of the thread. You have to rotate the thread, the stone it will be forming the circular motion. Circularly one thing it will be moving to form circular motion. So example is stone. Okay. Then earth will be revolving around the sun, just as taken as an elliptical motion as well as the circular motion also. And then rotational motion. What's the meaning that rotational motion means? Rotational motion means nothing but one disc it will be rotate fixed to one axis. The disc it will be rotate fixed to one axis. ஒரு ஆக்சிஸை ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு டிஸ்க் வந்து ரொட்டேட் ஆகுதுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, that will be called rotation motion. Spinning of the earth. The earth it will be spinned about their own axis. அதோடைய own axisல spin ஆகுது. So fixing இப்படி ஒரு இது இருக்குன்னா இது அப்படி ரொட்டேட் ஆகுது. Okay. So the disc will be rotating about an axis, and another one example is spinning of earth about their own axis. It will be called as a rotation motion. Vibrating motion means, vibrating motion is nothing but this is the to and fro motion. To and fro motion. To and fro motion. What is the meaning of to and fro motion? Ma? One thing will be start from one point, it will be reach at the finishing point, again start from the first point, again reach at the same. To and fro motion is the example is swing. Swing it will be moving to and fro motion, it will be called as a vibrating motion. Another one is, example is string, it will be vibrating in a violin or guitar or anything. Okay, this is the example for to and fro motion or vibrating motion. So all are the types of motion: linear motion, circular motion, rotation motion and vibrating motion. What is called linear motion? One thing it will be moving in a straight line, it will be called as a linear motion. One thing it will be moving in a circular motion, that will be called as moving in a circle, it will be called as a circular motion. One thing it will be moving rotationally fixed to one axis, that is called rotation motion. One thing it will be moving to and fro, one side to another side and another side to one side. To and fro motion it will be called as vibrating motion. To and fro motion it will be, example is swing. Okay, swing. Another one is vibrating string on a guitar or violin or anything. The next we will go for motion 1, 2 and 3 dimensions. So one thing it will be moving. Okay, that will be first the object will be moving in one dimension. Next the object will be considered as moving in a 2 dimension. Third one, the object will be moving in a 3 dimension. First I explained that the one object will be moving in a 1 dimension. Okay, what's the meaning that 1 dimension, ma? The object will be moving in a x-axis only. X-axis only, because x-axis means athlete is running on a race. Train it will be moving in a railway track. Okay, that is the example for one-dimensional motion. One-dimensional motion, I am moving in x-axis basis. We consider this edge x, y, z. Okay, we consider the corner of the room, 3 lines is there, in the horizontal, in the vertical and the another one side. So that will be considered as x, y, z axis. We moving in x-axis basis, we consider as the motion our body in one dimension. One dimensional ஒன்றும் இல்லை, x-axis base பண்ணி ஒரு thing move ஆகுதுன்னா அதுக்கு பேர் one dimensional motion. Clear that ma? Okay. Then the motion in 2 dimension. What's the meaning that 2 dimension? You see, you play in the carom board. You have to apply the force on the carom coin. The coin will be moving 2 basis axis. The carom board having this. So this is x axis, this is y axis. The carom board coin, so the carom board having 2 axes x and y. The coin it will be moving x axis as well as the y axis. So the one object will be moving by using the two axes xy axis, that the dimension will be called motion in two dimension. So motion in two dimension, that the object will be moving x y two axis. ரெண்டு ஆக்சஸை பேஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு திங் மூவ் ஆகுது அப்படின்னா அது மோஷன் இன் டூ டைமென்ஷன். அண்ட் தேர்ட் ஒன் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இஸ் கேரம் காயின் ஒன். another one is insects crawling on the floor. இன்செக்ட்ஸ் அப்படியே ஊந்து போகிறது எக்ஸ் ஆக்சஸையும் பேஸ் பண்ணி ஊந்து போகும், ஒய் ஆக்சஸையும் பேஸ் பண்ணி போகும். ஸோ இன்செக்ட்ஸ் இஸ் க்ரௌலிங் ஆன் த ஃப்ளோர், இட் வில் பி த எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஆஃப் motion in two dimension. And motion in three dimension, third dimension, birds fly. Birds it will be flying ground to high. Okay, கீழேருந்து மேலே அப்படி இப்படி நோக்கி பறக்குது. அப்போது so the birds will be start from the ground in the basis of x axis, it will be moving, start to moving the y axis, and it will be flying on the atmosphere in the z axis. So the insects will be flying by using the three dimension x y z coordinates. So that it will be using the x y z coordinates to be fly. And then kite flying, patta parakana, it will be moving in x y z axis. So one thing, it will be flying in any one side, it will be use the x y z coordinates, so that it will be moving in the three dimensions. So one dimension means only the x axis it will be used, two dimension means y axis it will be x y axis it will be used to move, and third dimension means x y z axis, three axis it will be used to move an object. So that is called motion in 1, 2, 3 dimensions. So that all are the topics we learn in the second chapter. First, what is called kinematics. Kinematics means motion is the branch of physics which deals the objects or in motion without considering the force into account. Okay, that will be called as kinematics. Kinematics, the word it will be derived from the gynema, Greek word. Gynema means motion. And then before enter this topic, the motion it will be already explained the two levels, that is a microscopic level and a macroscopic level. Atoms motion irukku, and earth and sun that will be revolving around that also explained on the basis of motion. So motion it will be very much important to explain all the things and all the phenomena in physics. Okay, so first point and rest and mass, one thing without moving, that will be called as rest. One thing it will be moving, having some velocity, will be called as motion. So rest and motion is nothing but thing it will be sit in without work, that will be called rest. That the thing will be do the work with motion, it will be called motion. Then frame of reference means one thing it will be moving, that will be considered, that will be refers in one frame, that the frame having x y z axis. So that the Cartesian coordinates it will be used to explain the frame of reference. The frame of reference it will be classified into two. One is right-handed coordinate system and left-handed coordinate system. Right-handed coordinate system means the motion it will be explained in the anti-clockwise, and left-handed Cartesian coordinate system means the motion it will be explained in the clockwise. Okay, so the motion it will be explained x y z axis. X y z axis means it will be clockwise, anti-clockwise, but z is up. And then in this diagram, x y z, y is up, it will be anti-clockwise, that is called right-handed Cartesian coordinate system. And left-handed Cartesian coordinate system means one thing it will be moving x y z, it will be moving in a clockwise, hence y is up, y axis it will be up. Z is up means x y z. This diagram also it will be explained that the object will be moving in a clockwise, but z is up. And next one is point mass. Point mass is nothing but total mass of the system, it will be considered a single point. Sometimes earth is considered as a point mass comparable to the largest distance between the sun and the earth. And then one stone it will be thrown away in the atmosphere. The stone it will be considered as a point mass comparable to the large area of the atmosphere. And then again I explained that the types of motions. Types of motion is linear motion, circular motion, and rotation motion, and vibrating motion. Linear motion means one thing it will be moving in a straight line. Circular motion means one thing it will be moving to make a circle. Linear motion means athletic running on the road, and train it will be moving in a circular track. And circular motion means one stone it will be attached with the string it will be forming the circle motion. And then rotation motion means one stick will be rotating about an axis, and then earth it will be revolving around the sun, not a revolving, earth it will be spinning about their own axis, it will be called as a rotation motion. Vibrating motion means to and fro motion. The to and fro motion, it will be create the motion that will be called vibrating motion. Example is swing, and another one is vibrating string in a guitar or violin. And then motion in 1, 2, 3 dimension. First motion in 1 dimension means that the object will be moving in x-axis, athletic running on the athletic place, and then train will be moving in a track. And the 2 dimension means carom coin will be moving on a carom board, it will be completely moving on the basis of x, y axis. And insects will be crawling on the floor, it will be the example for 2 dimension motion. And 3 dimension motion means birds flying on the sky, and kite will be flying on the sky, that will be the example for 3 dimension. 3 dimension is nothing but that the object will be moving x, y, z axis. So okay, that all are the concept it will be learned in this session. And today home assignment is for this session. Learn and write the types of motion, and then learn and write the types of motion, and then motion in 1 dimension, motion in 1, 2 and 3 dimensions. Okay. So students, in order, learn and write the types of motion and motion in 1, 2, 3 dimensions. Thank you.